Josh Stevens.
MZ, Michael Zwerling.
I was going to say something to you, but I forgot what it was.
That I stepped on your toes last week?
No, that was are you talking about the bleeping?
Oh, no. I mean, like, there was a lot of Josh Stevens, and I was thinking, man, this was feeling like I was taking over his show.
Well, it's okay. I mean, that's what younger people do to older people because the older people deserve it. Because the older people are getting a little too feeble.
Yeah, I felt you needed a little more pick-me-up.
You were right. You were right. You were absolutely right.
And you were too busy masticating.
I was very busy. I masticate several times a day. In fact, some would say it's too much. What are you laughing at, Dave Michaels?
I love that word. That is a funny word.
Well, because my weight is it's a little on the positive side, too much. Speaking of the positive side, it's coming out. It's coming out. The positive MZ. Really? Now, for the last few weeks, it's been a negative MZ. Is that correct?
A little down in the dumps, yes.
Down in the dumps MZ. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the opposite of down in the dumps? Up in the clouds? I don't know.
Sure.
I guess?
Yeah.
All right. That's what I am going to be today. Okay? And every caller to the Saturday special must conform to that requirement. It's got to be a positive phone call, no negativity. And we have a lot to be thankful for.
We do.
We certainly, do you agree, Josh Stevens?
I sure do, MZ.
At least we have a new president and a new cabinet. And that's something to be excited about.
Sure.
And give the guy a chance. So I'm dead serious. People think, there are some people out there who say, what's wrong with MZ? What's he on? No, I'm just realized I had a conversation with someone who got me to realize that there's a lot to be thankful for, okay? And that things aren't so bad.
Good.
Are they, Dave Michaels?
Well, it's always good to look at the bright side of things, MZ. Always
look on the bright side of life.
It's good advice.
No. It's been so long since I've sung, I don't know how to carry a tune anymore.
Is that what the today's
if anybody requests a song that I feel like I can do, I'll try. But fair warning. Now, this isn't I said everything is going to be positive. I should be saying, if anybody requests a song that I think I can do, I'll knock it out of the park. It'll be great.
Oh.
But it's been so long since I've sung, even to myself, that I'm probably quite rusty.
William Devon, be thankful for what you got. That's
great
my
song.
request.
That's a great song.
I don't even know it. So how can I? Can you sing it, Josh Stevens? Can you get a YouTube karaoke version of it?
I sure could.
I would like to hear you try that, Josh.
Why don't you do it,
Josh? I want to hear you hit those notes.
You want to hear me hit those notes?
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Oh,
Dave Michaels, how do you know all these songs that I don't know?
Well, that one right there is a fantastic song. Just a great song, MC. I like happy songs. I like to be, whatever puts me in a happier mood, I'm all for it. Whatever puts me in a grouchy mood, I try to stay away from.
I remember doing that Don't Worry, Be Happy that someone requested, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do a very bad job. It was a pretty good job because anybody could do that because you don't even have to sing.
Yeah,
all you do is talk.
The one he's talking about is not so easy.
Oh, really?
I want to hear him do it.
Okay, good. So we're going to do that. Josh is working on that right now as he's screening a phone call. What's up in the Dave Cave, Dave?
Well,
Michaels?
MZ, I got something that'll put you in a great mood. For those of you who are looking to get Ultimate Daily Classic, usually a hard thing to get, but we've got plenty in stock right now, the Ultimate Daily Classic, and just in, we also got some Ultimate Oxybody. We never talk about that, but the Oxybody is designed to help put oxygen in your blood. So if you're suffering from low oxygen levels.
You must have ordered that because I didn't.
I did, yes.
Oh, okay.
I did order that. So I got a case in there, 4 bottles of Oxybody. This is cherry flavored. It is designed to put more oxygen in your blood. So if again, low oxygen levels in your blood is something that you're worried about, then you want the Oxy Body. We have those at the Dave Cave. We also have the Ultimate Daily Classic and Colloidal Silver. All of those are usually pretty hard to get, but we've got them in stock right now, ready to go.
It's the perfect time of year to get it, huh?
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect.
So, are you going to get your vaccine
No, absolutely not.
ever?
Not until I'm old and on my way out. No, heck no. I'd rather just chance it, MZ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I salute you, Dave Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
So already we have two people on the. I was going to give Josh Stevens the phone number of our honored special guest for a segment here. Did you hear the sad news? We're supposed to be positive, but we'll
Larry
be.
King?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, at least his prostate's not bothering him anymore. Right? Because that was his commercial. It was on every 60 seconds.
His prostrate. He had a very bad prostrate.
It was driving him nuts.
Anytime anybody uses the word prostate. Or I always say prostrate. It's part of my shtick.
I know.
And so many people send us emails with where the subject matter says my prostrate. So, yeah, and what else do I talk? Every time I hear "we the people," it's instinctive. Even if I'm by myself in the car, when someone says "we the people" on a talk show or something, I instinctively say "us the people." It's not "we the people"; it's "us the people," isn't it?
Should be.
Yeah.
Why not?
So
I don't think they talk weird.
So
like
I don't have to write down the secret number of our guest because the guest is there already,
Good.
right? Josh Stevens.
He sure
nodding
is.
his head.
All right, MZ, I'm headed out to the cave. So the three items that we have today that are usually hard to get are your Cherry Oxy Body, which is to help increase oxygen levels in your blood, Ultimate Daily Classic, which is to help improve blood pressure, and the Colloidal Silver, which is good for fighting infections, skin infections, cuts, bruises, not bruises, but cuts, scrapes, that kind of thing.
Is there anything you have for limpness?
Male, to increase performance?
To reduce limpness.
Try Tangy Tangerine.
Okay.
Why not? You'd be surprised, MZ, how well everything starts working once you get the minerals in there. Vitamins, yes, but minerals, once you get them in your body,
Yeah, the
everything
vitamins
starts working.
don't work unless the mineral cofactors are present. See, even I know that.
Most people have never tried mineral supplements, and that's what longevity is all about, is minerals. Get them in your body, and you will be amazed at how everything starts to work. Everything, from your better moods to, better muscle
Now, you take
coordination,
all this
everything.
stuff. You were always pretty quick and pretty sharp.
Well.
But I think you've been quicker and sharper.
Really?
In the recent years.
It must be the Tangy Tangerine 2.5. It's an improved
Do you
flavor.
have that?
You know what, MZ? I'm willing to bet you that right now what we're selling as a 2.0 is just until the old labels go out, because the 2.5 is basically just an improved flavor. It has a tropical taste to it, and it has a bigger scoop. That's the only difference.
But does it taste that way to you? And they're just
The
using up
2.0 does, yeah. The 2.0 definitely they changed something, and the scoop in there is different. So
Can I get one of those latest things that you have? Because I want to see if it's. I haven't had mine
sure,
yet today.
Yeah. I'll save one. aside for you.
That'd be great.
Good. We've got them at the Dave Cave.
You know me. I hate to feel bad, and I love to feel good.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Right? Okay. Very
right,
good. Well,
MC.
let's start the program.
Good morning, a brighter day is here. Good morning, may we bring you cheer.
We've got time, we've got tunes, we've got time, tunes, and temperature.
Get up and go, it's today you know, on KSCO Radio.
Well, at least we've got a new president and a new cabinet. That is something to be thankful for. And we're entering a new era of tranquility, and that's exciting. So anyhow, welcome to the Saturday special on your favorite radio station. We want to figure out how to make your favorite radio station even better. Will you help us?
Good morning, now stay right here on KSCO Radio.
Was it too hot, Josh Stevens? Yeah, okay. All right, Andres in Capitola has a song request. But are you ready to do your thing?
Oh,
Can
I
we
am.
open the show?
I sure
Okay,
am.
good. Well, here, Andres, wait. Rich will be coming to you. Good friend of Larry King's, and he's got a lot of Larry King stories to relate to us. And Steve in Pacific Grove has something about Larry King too. So, but before we do anything, I'm going to introduce the famous Josh Stevens to sing. What are you going to sing?
Be Thankful for What You Got by William DeVaughn.
Okay, go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, here.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac,
Oh, I know that song. I do know it.
gangsta white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you've got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging with the scene with the gangsta lean, gangsta white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you've got. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangsta lean. Ooh. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangsta lean. Ooh. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangsta lean. Woo. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, gangsta white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all. Remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangsta lean. Ooh. Diamond in the back, sunroof top,
Wow.
digging the scene.
Josh Stevens, I salute you. Hey, now I've heard that song. I just didn't know. I just didn't connect the. I didn't know. The
I'm
name
used
of
to
it.
the David Todd remix, so I was a little off with some of my cues, but other than
You
that,
did amazingly well, and that's not something I would even attempt because it's a tough. Like Dave Michaels said, it's tough.
the falsettos.
Well, there was only one. There's only one that you did.
Yep.
You know, is there more? Are there more that you
It's
just?
technically peppered throughout it, but then it was like, all right, I got to change my key, make it a little bit more in tune. I don't know.
Wow.
It's also because like that was my first time, so you could probably hear my nervousness at the end. But then when you started seeing me getting all hand motiony,
you were getting into it. For
then
sure.
I was feeling myself.
Good. Hey, way to go. I mean, I salute you. I salute you. Okay, real quick here, before we talk about Larry King here, what's Andres's request for poor old MZ?
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
Something by Belafonte, either Deo or.
Okay, I'll do either Matilda or I'll do Mama Look a Boo Boo. That's a good one. Yeah, that'll be a good one. I can definitely do that. Thank you, Andres. Appreciate it. We'll definitely do it. Okay, and if I haven't done it by sometime this hour, call to remind us, please. Okay, thank you. Here's Rich Lieberman, the proprietor of 415 Media, the most popular media blog in California. And you don't feel too good today, do you, Rich?
Are you talking about what I just heard about 5 minutes ago, or are you talking about... No, I'm just... Holy...
What? Are you going to be kind? We're supposed to be a positive show.
Oh, very. Yeah, thank you. Now I've had like a double death. As Jerry Seinfeld would say, who are you? Who are these people? What's going on? I mean, MZ, what is happening here?
We're just trying to be positive. After all, we do have a new president and a new beginning.
Yeah,
right?
Anyway, well, thank you for bearing the lead, so to speak. No, it's good to be on the show.
Driving away the audience. But anyhow, you knew Larry King pretty well for a long time, and you even had his personal cell number. I don't know if...
Well, that did a lot for my career. But anyway, it's a very sad day. Knowing Larry would have said something to, on his passing. He was I had to die on a Saturday. It couldn't have been a Friday or a Monday. So, my Larry King impression. I mean, it's a very sad day. He's, first heard about his going into Cedars-Sinai about a month ago. He had some health issues, and then he got the COVID, and this morning, early this morning, he passed away. And hopefully it wasn't painful or anything like that. But, just to think that, he's gone right now is, I thought he would beat it, like a lot of people. He was a very tough guy, and I had some...
Didn't he have a lot of underlying conditions, though? And probably was COVID that did him in finally, but that hasn't been announced, right?
No, but he'd had prostate cancer. He'd had, some emphysema issues, and he smoked 3 packs of cigarettes for 40 years, and then had a heart attack, which most people know about, and he quit smoking, obviously. And I was with him the night, 2 nights before the heart attack. I was having dinner with him, and part of the stories that I have. But he had some health issues, and but he was in relatively a good situation and seemed to overcome a lot of that. And when you get to be 87 years old, it's not when you have this epidemic or pandemic taking place. And I had known for days now that he was in a very good situation. And then ultimately, I just hope to hell that he was not in any kind of pain and that he passed peacefully. But I met him, MZ. He was doing a broadcast when he was on Mutual, which a lot of people, especially the younger demographic here, didn't realize that he started out in radio.
Yes.
In Miami. And then he went to Mutual broadcasting, and then in 1985 he began his very successful career at CNN, and he landed some of the most incredible people that wouldn't do interviews, and Larry was able to get them on not just his radio program, but on CNN. People like Frank Sinatra and Burt Reynolds, and he had on kings and queens and very, very popular people in the celebrity world and obviously politics. I mean, he was tremendous interviewer. A lot of people didn't like or used to make fun of his interviews where he tossed a lot of softballs, and that was one of the reasons why he was able to get the great guests that he did, that he was able to get, because the people felt comfortable on the shows, and that was one of the reasons, or one of the issues why I took offense to, is that he landed people that normally wouldn't do interviews, and that was one of the reasons why he did so well. But I knew him right around 1980. I was a senior in high school at Skyline, and he did a radio show at the top of the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. He had on Mayor Feinstein, who would become Senator Feinstein, and Melvin Belli. And I walked up to him, and he knew my dad very well, Brooklyn people, and got to know him real well. And he invited me in the CNN box at the Democratic Convention in 1984. And whenever he came out to San Francisco, I used to go and have a lunch with him, or a kibitz with him at breakfast or something. And then he actually flew me back to Washington in 1990 for his 10th year anniversary party at Duke Zebert's in Washington, D.C. And, he was a really, really good guy. He had shortcomings, which he's talked about, and he wrote about his issues in life. But he was a very, very decent man, and he was very, very, very much off the air as he was on the air. There was not a different Larry King. I mean, he had some, things in life that he had to deal with. That's, his gambling problems and women, and, his celebrated. He was married, 7 or 8 times. So, but he was a real, real decent person. And what you saw on the air was what you saw off the air too, if you had a chance to know him. Again, I saw this coming. Obviously, I'm not any special person when it comes to that statement, but nonetheless, it's really difficult to comprehend the fact that he's gone. And when he was replaced on CNN by Piers Morgan, which they're talking about on Twitter right now, amongst other social media sites, the ratings went in the toilet. And that was one of the reasons why CNN got rid of him, was, the ratings began to dip, and they used to say like, well, we want to get a younger demographic and the ratings went in the toilet. He made a kind of an unflattering remark about Piers Morgan.
Oh, I don't know where that sound is coming from. I apologize, but go ahead, Piers Morgan.
At the orchestra?
Yeah.
Is from the Titanic. Anyway, I've overtaken the interview. If you wanted to ask me a specific question or two, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. It's good. So you knew him, and what I always liked about Larry is he didn't read the books. He just went in totally unprepared, just like I do most of the time.
Well, he said, it was one of the things that people used to lampoon him about was Larry doesn't want to read the book because he doesn't want to do any work. But he always used to say, I'm curious. I want to be like the audience. I want to talk to the guest, and I want to ask the guest a question. And that was his philosophy about not reading the book. When he had on authors or, politicians or celebrities, he used to say always that he was very open about not reading the book, and a lot of people got on him for that. But
we have a program called From the Bookshelf with man named Gary Shapiro. It's on Monday nights. And he is just the opposite of Larry King. He reads every word of every book of every author that he interviews. And the authors really appreciate that because they can ask really incisive questions, and they could still be curious, just like Larry was. Anyhow, I'm with Larry, and my reason is because I'm lazy. Don't read. Not proud of it, but it's
that's what Larry always used to say, and people got on him for the fact that come on, Larry, read the book for God's sakes. You're going to have on this or that. But he was really good about that. That's one of the reasons why, Michael, I think that he was so popular was because of the fact that a lot of people could relate to him because he just seemed like a regular, I'm Larry King, let's go have a cup of coffee or a glass of seltzer kind of a thing. He was just a real decent sort of a guy that a lot of people related to because of the fact that he had this sort of, man on the street, albeit a little bit more cushy, mostly dealing with the fact of his celebrated marriages and things like that. But he was just a regular guy that did interviews like, if we'd be sitting at a bar having a beer and talking to each other. And that's one of the things I think people gravitated towards, that he could, they used to ask him who was the one person that he couldn't interview that he wanted to interview, and he said the Pope. But that and he always would land people like a Sinatra or get politicians or some, like Jerry Seinfeld, who did interviews, but some of the more celebrated people that he was not, that most people would be able to get, even like a Johnny Carson or a David Letterman, whom, by the way, he was on both of those shows, but that he was able to get precisely because of his style. He was just a regular. And he would never, that's the thing I thought was sort of cool about Larry, was that he'd never try to hurt anybody or trap somebody or make people feel uncomfortable. That was both his best situation and his worst situation, because he'd have remember the politician that what was his name, the senator from South Carolina who was in a bathroom stall, and he had him on, and I think I forgot his name, but people know who I'm talking about. But he wouldn't be happy about making somebody feel uncomfortable, and that's why Sinatra did his show as many times as he did, because he wouldn't try to talk. He wouldn't ask Sinatra about, well, what about Marilyn Monroe, or what about Jack Kennedy, or that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why he was so adept at his job, was that he was, and I earlier about the ratings going in the toilet when Pierce Morgan took over. And, there was talk at CNN about bringing him back, but it never materialized for whatever reason. But I know a lot of things that he got, a lot of pleasure out of his cardiac foundation. He had a heart attack back in 1987, and I was with him a couple of nights earlier. We were having dinner in Walnut Creek, California, and we were at this columnist for the Oakland Tribune named Perry Phillips' house. And I remember vividly about what had transpired. And then 2 nights later, he took a red eye back to Washington to do his Mutual show, arrived at the studio on the Monday, and after the show, his show used to last 5 hours. He'd do 2 hours with a guest, then they'd repeat the 2 hours, and then he would have the Open Phone America, which a lot of people loved, where he'd talk about the guest, and then he would talk about things going on in the world, and that kind of a deal. And after his show on a Monday night, this was back in 1988, 87, I believe. I think it was actually 88. And he had these horrible chest pains. And he was in the car, and the first thing he did was drove directly to George Washington Hospital. And he went into the emergency room, and I guess they did some tests, and he's having the pain really navigate his body, and the doctor said, "Mr. King, you're having a heart attack," which became the name of his first book. And that was the end of that. You know,
Yeah.
the cigarettes went away.
Well, anyhow, it's definitely the end of an era, and yeah, it's great that you got to know him. But Rich, thanks. We're going to move on and get into some more craziness that'll probably make you want to tune out of the show. You know, we're getting requests, we're getting song requests, and I got to tell you, that's something that's very positive, right? Well, maybe not. But, okay.
Don't quote.
All right. Got it. Thank you. Rich Lieberman, 415 Media, a blogger from the Bay Area. And real quick here, let's take Steve from Pacific Grove. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
When I confronted Larry King on the Ron Owens show dozens of years ago about his role in the Chapman interview brainwash campaign,
yes.
His response, rather than getting all ashamed and everything, was he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, Ron. It's all going to come out anyway." He admitted I was right.
Oh, about Stephen King and John Lennon. Yes.
That's right. He knew he was. Matter of fact, I met Barry Manilow in New York City the night he was just before he was interviewed by Larry King, and I warned Barry Manilow about beware Larry King. He's one of the guys corrupting us with this Lennon cover-up. And if you watch that interview with Barry Manilow doesn't say a word. He's just watching King all night. But anyway, he was good enough after what he did to admit that, yeah, that guy from California, he's right. It's all going to come out.
He did say that?
Apologize. Pardon me?
He said that publicly?
He said it's all going to come out. Don't apologize, Ron. You know, it is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, well, so you sort of like the guy, huh?
Well, he's only, well, you know, I scared Geraldo Rivera off of interviewing Chapman with some publicity in San Francisco. I scared him off. I didn't manage to scare Larry King off. So in that respect, it's a stone against him. But in the respect that when he was cornered, he didn't try to deny it.
Okay. All right. Well, great. Thanks for sharing your Larry King story on the Saturday special. Appreciate it. Take care, Steve. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Lines are free. By the way, I'm going to turn off the microphone and not subject the audience to my clearing my throat.
Good.
It took me that long to clear my throat and not subject. Can you imagine if the audience had been subjected to my clearing my throat for that long? It must have been 10 seconds.
I'm surprised you're really good at that, at covering up all your mastication.
No, I don't even try.
I can't even hear you smack on the
I masticate
phone.
on the air, you know? So people say that I smack and that it's not, you know, it's not becoming. But that's one of the reasons I purchased the radio station, so that I don't have to live by other people's rules. Is that an arrogant statement?
No, it's not. I mean, everyone makes that wisecrack. Like, if they do something wrong, they can be like, "Oh, well, no one can fire me. I own the place."
Yeah. So I don't know. That's well. So look, I found something on YouTube that has one of my favorite Harry Belafonte selections. I haven't previewed it. It does have the words that go across the screen. So I'm going to try it. And if I don't like the way the music, I reserve the right to halt it in the middle and do either another version that I might be able to find. But for right now, let's just try this. And by the way, and for anybody who has any requests, including talk shows that you'd like to hear or what you'd like to hear on KSCO that you haven't heard, every once in a while I get into one of these moods where I say we need to steer the radio station in a more positive direction. I mean, we've been wallowing in the negative political mud for so long. I mean, I'm really tired of it, and there are a lot of things to be thankful for. in our town, in our state, in our country. And I want to talk about some of that and want to talk about how we can become a better radio station to, advance positivity. That'd be great. So 479-1080 if you want to check into the Saturday special with us today. But for now, we're going to try Harry Belafonte, Mama Look a Boo Boo. I don't like this. All right, I'm going to try it. There's a better version than this because I know it. I wonder why nobody don't like me. Or is it the fact that I'm ugly? I wonder why nobody don't like me. Or is it the fact that I'm ugly? I leave my whole house ago. My children don't want me no more. Bad talk inside the house they bring. And when I talk, they start to sing. Mama, look a boo-boo, they shout. Their mother tell them, shut up your mouth. That is your daddy. Oh no, my daddy can be ugly, so shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Oh, shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Couldn't even digest me supper due to the children's behavior. John, yes, Pa, come here a moment. Bring the belt, you're much too impudent. John says it's James who started first. James tells the story in reverse. I drag me belt from off me waist. You should see them screaming round the place. Mama, look a boo-boo, they shout. Their mother tell them, shut up your mouth. That is your daddy. Oh no, my daddy can be ugly, so shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Ooh, shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. So I began to question the mother. These children ain't got no behavior. So I began to question the mother. These children ain't got no behavior. They playing with you, my wife declared. You should be proud of them, my dear. Those children were taught to bloom and slack. That ain't no kind of joke to crack. Mama, look a boo-boo, they shout. Their mother tell them, shut up your mouth. That is your daddy. Oh no, my daddy can be ugly, so shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Ooh, shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Ooh, shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Ooh, shut your mouth, go away. Mama, look a boo-boo there. Ooh, shut your mouth.
Nice.
Grade.
I would say B-.
Have you heard the song before?
I honestly haven't, but
okay.
I was comparing your background lyrics, the background lyrics to your lyrics, and they were just about in sync. So that's where you get the kudos.
Oh, okay, Josh Stevens, thank you. There is another one here. There's another version.
Quickly, what was my grade?
Well, your grade was B-. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what's Harry Belafonte singing now?
I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop.
Okay. Matilda, that's a good one. And there are no callers, so that means we've driven the audience away. So what should we do now with 15 minutes left in the hour? Holy Christmas.
We should beg them to call at 831-479-1080 and bring something else that's positive.
We're not too ashamed to beg the callers to call 479-1080. It still might not work, though. You know, so
It may not.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we'll just find some other karaoke. You know, that usually always works. At least it used to in the past. When I threaten to do more karaoke, unless we get some call-ins, the lines light up typically, and that's what it used to be. So, who's Uncle Matty? Who in the world is Uncle Matty? Is that a new caller? Huh? Is that a new caller?
Just me. It's just me, Uncle Matty. I got somebody calling me Uncle Matty for the last 10 years, and I really like the sound of it, so I figured that guy's not selling dog training stuff on the radio anymore, so I'll be Uncle Matty for a while. Remember that guy?
No. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Nice to. Have you called in before under a different name?
Yes, Matt.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, Uncle Matty, or is it Matty? Is it?
That's it. It's Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you, Matthew? At least we have a new president, right?
Yeah. If that's the new narrative. So yeah, you did well, and I have to say your range is really amazing for what your speaking voice is. I sing a lot. I love to sing. I've always enjoyed Harry Belafonte, and not so much his politics, but that doesn't matter. You have guts. That's a hard song to sing, and you did well.
Mama Look a Boo Boo is hard. I think what Josh did earlier is hard. I can't imagine myself even attempting that song. But Mama Look a Boo Boo is easy. Thank you. I graciously accept your compliment, though. I appreciate it.
It's easier if you've got the lyrics and maybe a little bit of guidance there that way.
Oh, yeah, with these YouTube videos that have the karaoke lyrics go across in time with the music. It's wonderful. I mean, songs that I know really well, like some Beatles songs and stuff, I guess I could do it without the lyrics, you know. But so you've loved to sing for a long time, Matt?
I'm a long-time listener. I've been living in Scotts Valley 20 years now, and kind of came off of another radio station, which was mainly music in the area. Everybody knows it. And, of course, you guys, which I really like listening to all of the programs. And your programming is very nice. It's diverse. A couple people I'm sad that went away, and some I'm not so happy about. But you do cover a pretty broad spectrum. I'm a big consumer of news and politics.
Great. But when I asked you, I wasn't asking you how long you've been listening to KSCO. I was asking you how long you've been singing and adding life to your life, you know, because that's how I feel. It just makes me feel so good to sing. And I don't know why it took me so. It was only like 4 or 5 years ago that I even tried to sing anything, you know.
I see. So I have a service business, and I'm in people's homes a lot. I'm running around constantly working, and, you know, people don't like it when you're in their home. So I sing a lot and hum and whistle, and I learned quickly to, you know, I'm pretty diplomatic about it, but it helps. People can hear you coming down the hall. They're not taken aback, you know, like, oh, you startled me. How I kind of got into it.
Yeah. That's great.
In high school, one of the guys had a band in the high school called the Derby Brothers. And I sang for them for a little while, but that was short.
I got to tell you, you know, I'm amazed at how many people I know and have known for years who love music. I'm not talking about just love like listening to the Beatles or the Stones or somebody, you know, from our generation. I'm just talking about liking music so much that they play music and that they might even be in a band. I'm totally blown away by how many people that, and I feel, the sad thing is that I've always enjoyed music, but I never felt like I wanted to get into it myself, like I wanted to perform, like I wanted to sing, like I wanted to play any kind of an instrument until recently. So I feel like I've wasted most of my life. But that's a negative statement on a positive show, so the listeners will disregard that last comment from MZ, okay?
There's a bar in a hotel in town that used to have, up until the big COVID, you know, they used to have a Thursday night thing where this band would get up, and I'm sure you probably already know who I'm talking about. Don passed away. He was in his 90s, and he was a keyboard player. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
We hired Warmth, which was his band that played outside the Cooper House in the 70s. And my father, who had an optometry practice just up the street on Pacific Avenue from the corner of Cooper Street, used to say, God, it would be great to have Warmth at a play at a at a party or some event or something like that. And so my brother and sister and I planned a secret, a surprise 40th wedding anniversary party for my folks. And of course we hired Warmth. We hired Warmth. And somewhere I've got a video of them playing at my house where we lured them into the surprise 40th wedding anniversary party. I sure hope I can find it.
You got to dig that up.
I know. Yeah. And so it was just amazing.
I have a little story for you. My friend Shirley, she probably isn't listening now because I think she's up north in Northern California, but extended family, She also is the one that turned me on to this outfit. So I went to watch them, and they have a handful of singers, and they're vocalists. It's almost like you would think like a karaoke kind of thing, where they get up and sing two or three, and, it's nice. And then they switch, and another vocalist comes. Well, they begged me to go, and my mom was visiting at the time, and I sang Just the Way You Look Tonight. I think you know that tune. That's a kind of a Sinatra, made it really famous. Just the way you look tonight. And I was blown away at the response. I didn't think I did all that well, but I can't wait for them to warm up and start again. I hope they do, even though down the road,
I know
maybe they will.
Hopefully. And I'm thinking that, the better part of this year is going to be required for us to get back to semi-normal, so let's look forward to that. But in the meantime, we can do something on the radio where people, participate. Why not?
I like it.
Why not?
I've called in dozens of times over the years to various, hey, call in, let's hear who can yodel the best. I wanted to tell you something before we disconnect. I thoroughly appreciate what you're doing, your energy, your perspective. And I want to remind you not to stay in the doldrums too long. This is a very
I'm out.
very big
I've emerged.
Good, good.
As a result of a very influential, very special friend of mine. Yeah, I had a nice talk. Oh, caller wants to speak to. Okay, hold on a second. Let me lock you in.
I can roll.
You don't mind talking to the caller who wants to talk to you. Okay, go ahead, caller who wants to speak to Uncle Matty.
Oh, hi, Matt. Can you give me a call once you get off the phone?
What's your phone number?
345-2540.
You actually I was just being facetious. I didn't think you were going to give it.
Are we on the air?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
I wrote it down.
I just want to talk to the singer when he gets off.
Do you want to repeat your phone number?
Yes, 345.
That's great. You must know that our audience isn't very big. Or you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. All righty. So I hope you get more calls than I hope Uncle. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. I think.
Yeah. When I call you, my number has a bunch of 6s and 9s in it. You'll see it when I call.
Okay.
Did you say 2540? 2540?
2540.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Well, look,
and call us back. Either one of you should call us back and let us know the contents of your private conversation. Okay? All right.
Sure.
Okay,
Have
thank you. Thank you
show.
so much. Thank you. Now our next
MZ.
caller is going to be none other than Anna Marie in Watsonville. Hi, Anna Marie.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Fine. I'm actually doing quite well, thank you.
Well, for some people, singing I do phone therapy. I haven't done it in a while, but I do phone therapy.
Phone therapy. Wow.
Yeah. And one thing I suggest to get you in a really good mood, euphorically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually, is put a lot of natural light into your space and put on what I call happy music or feel-good music. And, you know, there are things that you can sing, and when you're singing, especially if you're dancing while you're singing, it is amazing. It's better than any pill. It's real quick. So I just thought, I said, you know what, poor Michael, I feel like going down there and holding your hand. I really do.
Even today?
Well,
The last few weeks for sure, but not today.
I know you've been really down. I know, and it's been really heavy on you, and you explain, and then you apologize, but you're not feeling better. In fact, you feel worse when you apologize, because it's like, I don't get to feel this way. I'm bringing everybody down. I should be different.
Exactly. Yeah. That's no good. Who wants to be around a downer?
Yeah, but then it's like adding insult to injury in how bad you feel. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you feel the way you feel. So you have absolutely every reason and right. So my little thing that I tell people is, you know, go in a closet, go in the shower, go wherever, and I hate this.
Or even go on the radio.
Well, you can, but it's like you're almost looking for validation. You're always looking for validation, and you need support in doing the one thing that seems to help you. So, you know, I want to validate you, and I want to offer you just one little thing, is have a playlist to feel good. And I have little lists for you. The Bare Necessities of Life from the Jungle Book, Mac the Knife, which you do so well, I have to say.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Remember Mungo Jerry?
In the summertime when the weather is hot. In fact, I should do that.
That is something you would, these are feel-good songs.
Yeah.
That, Michael, if you do these, I do believe if you put your heart into it, you will feel better. Mungo Jerry is absolutely cool. And if that isn't a Santa Cruz song, I don't know what is.
Right.
Walking on Sunshine While You're Singing by Katrina and the Waves, and Uptown Funk by Bruno Miles, and just for the hell of it, how about Ain't That a Kick in the Head by Dean Martin. But when you're singing songs that are feel-good songs and you have natural light coming in and you're just focusing on what you're doing, you don't need to explain. You don't ever have to feel like you have to explain how you feel.
I found it, Kunta Kinte. I found it. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. I will do it next hour with your permission.
Oh,
and encouragement.
I've been listening to you for a little while today, and I just thought, damn it, I just got to call the man.
I'm so happy you did. You made my day that much brighter, and it was already bright. Thank you, Anna Marie.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, have a good one. Have a great rest of the...
You too, my dear.
Okay, take care. Hey, listen, we got less than 40 seconds. So Tony and Salinas and Terry in Pacific Grove, stay with us. I'm going to put you on hold. We'll put you on next hour. Is this clock right, Josh Stevens? Is it 10:59, 29, 30, 31? Is that right?
No, 25, 26.
Oh, when he said, okay.
You just got to get one of these, that radio sync. That's how you'll get your cues.
A watch?
Right. Yeah. But a radio synced watch.
Right. Okay. Well, give me the 10 seconds, okay?
You got it.
Yeah, you'll just tell me when I have 10 seconds, and then I'll be telling people to tune in.
15.
Okay. This is KSCO, Santa Cruz, Salinas, Monterey, San Jose, and the rest of the world.
These showers returning by Sunday will be getting heavy by Wednesday, so do watch out for that. Time now for hour 2 of the Saturday special. It is AM 1080 KSCO.
Dave Michaels.
MZ, or how do you say it, Josh?
MZ, Michael Zwerling.
MZ, Michael Zwerling. He did a great job, Josh, by the way, on that song.
He sure did, didn't he?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, pretty good job. I was impressed.
Especially,
when are you going to sing, Dave Michaels?
You know, MZ, I'm embarrassingly bad. I just sound horrible even to myself, so I don't even, I will not.
We're always our own worst critics. So if you sound bad to yourself, you could actually be very good.
No, I'm not.
Why don't you try? And then let other people say. They won't be polite.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday, MZ.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm just happy to sell people longevity products out in the Dave Cave.
Oh, I see that that chewable vitamin C. My mouth is starting to water because that's what happens when I chew them.
Yeah, vitamin C. This is a very popular. This is relatively new, just a few months old. The vitamin C chewables, but we also got the vitamin D. Everybody has been waiting for these. I just opened a box of these, so we have plenty of them. Vitamin D3 tablets, or are they tablets or capsules? They're capsules. Vitamin D3 capsules. So MZ, there's a lot of people are out there getting sick. And the best thing to do, one of the best things you could do besides wearing a mask, obviously that's what the county suggests, is take care of your immune system. Make sure your immune system is running on all cylinders. And the best 3 supplements to do that are vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. If you're already taking the 90 essential nutrients, which is the Healthy Start Pack, you should add these 3. And even if you're not, just in general, vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc.
Is that zinc bottle that you're holding, Zinc FX, is that a chewable?
These are lozenges, and yeah, you can chew them. Yes, you can chew them. But we also have liquid zinc as well. These come in droppers, and you can just add them to whatever you're taking. You don't have to mess around with chewables.
And it's not illegal to chew something that's in a dropper.
No, go ahead, knock yourself out.
It's not illegal to drop something that's in a chewable form.
Absolutely not. You can do whatever you want with them. Just make sure that you get them in. MZ, take care of your immune system. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Those are the 3 supplements those are the ones you want to focus on. Of course, you want the other 60 minerals and 16 vitamins and all that stuff that's in the Tangy Tangerine. But vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. C, D, and zinc.
Cool.
Those are the ones you want. And we've got them out in the Dave Cave.
All right.
And we've got of course, the Ultimate Daily and the Oxybody, the Cherry Oxybody.
Hey, what's the difference between Ultimate Daily and Ultimate Daily Classic?
The Ultimate Daily Classic has a herbal combination to help dilate blood vessels. So they both have your a good supply of your recommended daily minerals and vitamins, but the Ultimate Daily Classic has additional herbs to help dilate your blood vessels.
Now, they're smaller pills, because I was actually a little surprised.
Yeah.
Because the Ultimate Daily, before there was an Ultimate Daily Classic, they're horse pills. They're the biggest pills,
But you also got a boatload of them, too.
Yeah.
And so it's about the same price, but you get about half of what you would in the Ultimate Daily. But in this one, again, has the benefit of helping with your blood pressure.
Right.
Yeah, helping to ease that blood pressure. That's the Ultimate Daily Classic. We've got that as well.
And a lot of us have had high blood pressure in light of this weird COVID world and things to worry and have angst about. So, yeah, blood pressure, if you don't take your blood pressure, have it checked periodically, or have one of those inexpensive home meters, so $29, $39 or something, where you can check your blood pressure at home, you really should, because high blood pressure is a lurking, accident waiting to happen, in terms of getting a stroke.
Right, and if you're feeling stressed, MZ, the de-stress is great. It's just a bunch of vitamin B.
I gotta tell you, that stuff works.
Yeah.
It really does. And when I don't think it's possible to be stressed when you're on de-stress by longevity.
We just threw a whole bunch of information out there at people. I suggest that you go to kscohealth.com to find out more. That's kscohealth.com, or call 831-218-KSCO. That's 831-218-KSCO, and we can talk from there. We can recommend whatever it is that you need.
Sounds like a plan to
All right,
me,
MZ.
Dave Michaels. Thank you.
You got it.
Take care. You'll be at the cave until 2 p.m. today.
Hello, darling. I hate to hang up on you, but I'm sorry, baby, but I have to go. It's time for that wonderful record show. I'd love to visit, but you'll have to call back. KSCO has the inside track.
Welcome to hour number 2 of the KSCO Positive Saturday special for a change. Positive! Positive!
I'm sorry, baby, but I really got gotta go to KSCO Radio. Bye.
And now we are going to welcome Positive Terry from Pacific Grove to your favorite radio station. What positive things do you have for us, Terry in Pacific Grove?
Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Just fine, thank you.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the fine programming that you provide for your listeners. And,
you mean on the Saturday special or the whole station?
The whole station in general. You know, I don't always agree with all your program or the people that host them, but in overall, I think you just do a hell of a job.
Do you remember Mr. Logic? Have you been listening that long?
I know who he is. It's not really a program that I've listened to.
Right.
But,
okay. Well, when you said, when people say I don't always agree, well, of course you're not always going to agree because we have the whole opinions from the whole spectrum. We're called a conservative radio station because we have Rush, and probably the majority of our callers are politically conservative, but we are a voice for everyone. We are the last free speech. That's what I like to think. But, you know, hopefully, I hope that's not true. I hope there's a lot of other outlets of free speech. I've been concerned lately that freedom of speech in the United States seems to be being curtailed. And that was scaring me, but I decided to adopt a better attitude on that. So, in any case, I didn't mean to take over your phone call, and I apologize. So,
hey, it's your show. You can do whatever you want. Okay. One of the reasons I called is in reference to a comment I believe you made last Saturday, where you had expectations that the FCC might come in and pop your license. And what my comment based upon that is, if that were to happen, and I pray that it doesn't, that would be the straw that would break a lot of backs in your listening audience. And in fact, I think it would break a lot of backs clear across the country. And if that were to happen, and once again, I pray it doesn't, that if whatever it took to get your license reinstated, peacefully or by any other means, I'd be all in. And so,
wow. Well, geez.
But let me continue on here for a second.
Sure.
I'm not a vindictive loser, but you know, I go wherever the facts take me, and I am trying to be a little more positive around my family and anyone else, but I'm not going to become naive. And you know, you got to stand for something, or else you stand for nothing. And another well-quoted phrase is, bad things happen when good men do nothing.
Yes.
But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it. And once again, I thank you for all that you do.
I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much, Pacific Grove Terry. Okay. By the way, that I tuned in the TV today, and what I guess I was watching last was CNN, and they were talking about the death of Larry King. And, you know, they're going to have a big a tribute to him, I think, later today or tonight or something. Then I switched over to Fox, and Neil Cavuto was talking with our own, you know, KSCO land resident, former White House Chief of Staff and Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta, about this whole business of the curtailing of free speech, and with all the people having their books canceled, you know, their book deals canceled because they're pro-Trump people and so forth. Hasn't this gone a little too far? And Leon said, thankfully, or, you know, I'm happy that he said that he believes that President Biden believes in free speech, and that free speech should continue. in this country, and he was basically agreeing with Neil Cavuto that it's the whole clampdown on free speech, that the likes of which I have never seen in this country before, and that's why I've been so depressed. I just decided to adopt a different attitude. And Cavuto's point with Panetta was, wow, or after Panetta left, he says, geez, even one of the top-ranking, most popular Democrats of all time is saying, hey, free speech is very important and we got to keep it, regardless of how people are reacting. That was nice. So I was happy to see that, and I waited too long to be able to go back on the DVR and record that little segment and play it here on the Saturday special, but I basically encapsulated what was said. So,
Michael, let me get off the horn for you, but I want to leave you with this one last comment. Words are words, but actions are more important than words. So let's see what actions end up being taken.
Well, I'm gonna back up to what you said, which was the whole purpose of your phone call. If freedom of speech is truly curtailed in this country, I don't think people will stand for it. Just like you said.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. Even about KSCO, and that's why I'm saying going forward, how can we make your favorite radio station even better? Because I really want to know. I might not.
Well, I would say just stay on the course that you're on.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. That should be pretty easy. Okay. Thank you very much for calling 479-1080, and I hope a lot of other humans will call as well. That was Terry in Pacific Grove. We've got Corky in San Francisco. Okay, Corky, you're on KSCO. How you doing?
Fine. I wanted to sing Sherry by Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons.
Go for it.
Sherry, baby, come out tonight. Ooh, Sherry, baby, come out tonight. Boom, 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 boom. Why don't you come on? Come on, late at night. Come on, you look so fine. Come on, and dance the night away. They're gonna make me fire. Ooh, ooh, Sherry MZ, come out tonight on KSCO. Yay, don't you come on, breakfast night. You gotta look so fine. Go dance the night away. The girl making me fire. Ooh, ooh, hey, Sherry, baby, come out tonight.
That just goes to prove that we really can. That's a great, thank you. Boy, your falsettos are great because your normal vocal range is pretty low, so that's amazing.
Ooh, thank you.
Corky in San Francisco, appreciate it.
You know what he could do? Oh, I was going to have a request for him. He should have done that one song, Don't You Want Me, Baby.
Oh.
He could do that so well, I bet.
Well, he might still be listening. We'll see. But here, I found In the Summertime, and I've never done this before, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try, since nobody else is on the phone, to take us in a different direction. You know what I mean? So we're going to try this here. In the summertime, when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the summer is fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, do a ton at 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and lay by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the summer's fine, we go fishing and go swimming in the sea. We're always happy, life's for living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, dee-dee-dee-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, When the winter's here, yeah, it's party time. Bring a bottle, wear your bright clothes, it'll soon be summertime. And we'll sing again, we'll go driving and we will settle down. If she's rich, if she's nice, bring your friends and we'll all go into town. Summertime when the weather's fine, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, do a ton at 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and lay by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. And when the weather's fine, we go fishing or go swimming in the sea. We're always happy, life's for living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. All right. That is a happy song, Josh Stevens.
Yeah, it was.
Have you heard that song with a real Mungo Jerry?
I sure have.
Yeah.
It's played on an oldies station somewhere. I'm sure it has.
Oh, pretty good. So anyhow, so now what? It's only 11:25. We got 35 minutes left.
Well, did you see that email that we both got?
No.
Oh, it's so great. Vince in Pacific Grove said last week's show was one of the best Saturday specials.
Really?
Yeah, he said he was listening to it yesterday during the 2 to 4 replay. It was outstanding. One of your best Saturday specials ever with many outstanding callers.
What was so good about it?
Probably my sound effects.
Probably. Okay, let me look at the email so I can see it too. Yeah, there it is, best Saturday special. Give up Corky. George Myers says, alas, a worse singer than you. Corky in San Francisco is worse than you.
Are we sure that wasn't Rich?
Did you figure that out?
But I'm guessing because the phone number looked oddly familiar.
Yeah. Glad your attitude has improved. What you called him was pretty bad. Now, was that nice? Hope your day improves without Corky. Now, is that a kind thing to say,
No.
Rusty, George Myers? Okay, what else here? Andy Carchell. No, all this is too negative. I mean, Andres. More karaoke. Kingston Trio, Tijuana Jail. Well, what I can do is Google, again, since nobody's on the phone. Okay, Google Kingston Trio karaoke. Kingston Trio KR karaoke song. All right, or just plain old karaoke. Hey, Tom Dooley. That's one of their most famous ones. Okay. When the Santa. Well, you want to do that, Tom Dooley?
Tom Dooley.
Yeah.
I am so not familiar.
Well, I'll do a little bit of it anyhow. It's sort of a. It's not a. I don't know. It sort of doesn't belong on this positive show. Throughout history, there have been many songs written about the eternal triangle. This next one tells the story of a Mr. Grayson, a beautiful woman, and a condemned man named Tom Dooley. Okay. When the sun rises tomorrow, Tom Dooley must hang. This is supposed to be a positive Saturdays. I'm going to do a little of it anyhow. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. I met her on the mountain. There I took her life. Met her on a mountain. Stabbed her with my knife. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. Hadn't have been for Grayson, I'd have been in Tennessee. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry, good boy. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. Down in some lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. 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 Are there any other, that's the most depressing Kingston Trio song there ever was. Why did I sing it? I don't know. I honestly don't know why I sang it here. But I want to cancel this thing and see if there's any others. I Can't Help Falling in Love. How about that, Elvis Presley? All right, well, look, we've got callers now, so let's just take Frank the Crank in Salinas. Three things. Yeah.
Hey, to the listeners, we should nominate the owner of the station, who everybody loves, to the Radio Hall of Fame. I'd like to start a movement. I think that'd be. I don't know how many votes. You vote when you call up or send an email. And
well, I would appreciate that. That's very, very nice. What an honor. I've never been honored for anything.
Well, we
so
should
it would mean an awful lot to me to be honored for something before I croak.
Not for your singing, but by all means, go for it.
Okay.
Keep it up. I go to.
That's pretty good.
I go to group sing-alongs every week. You got to try it. I'm sure.
Even in COVID, or are they virtual?
Yeah, they're underground. They're underground.
Oh wow! That's where you might be, or those people might be if they keep getting together in person.
Well, we social distance.
Okay. All right.
It's not crowded. Hey, what was the other thing? Josh is going to make a great broadcaster. I look.
He already is a great broadcaster. Yeah, he's only going to get better. You're absolutely right about that.
But he hasn't matured yet. He's still liberal, I think, in his thinking.
You know
he's
what?
Smart.
I got to tell you something. Look, the funniest human in the world, in my opinion, it turns out, is an extreme liberal. So, I've made blanket statements in the past that I regret having made, like that most humorless people are liberals. I mean, I've said that a number of times. And that's not true, because the funniest person, I think, is Larry David, of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I cannot imagine anything funnier than him and that show. Do you agree with me, or are you familiar with it?
I'm not familiar with it. I think some of the preachers I listen to are hilarious. Chris Valentin up at Bethel, it's good stand-up, because comedy seems to be dead. You can't seem to poke fun at. Everybody's so sensitive.
Well, we're going to be doing that. We're certainly not going to become a politically correct radio station. We're going to have lots of fun going forward.
Hey, what are we going to do?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I was speaking over you. What do you think of After Rush? I hate to think that way, but the poor guy is really suffering.
Yeah, it's not something. It's things, something I don't like to talk about, and I don't think too many of us like to talk about. But the day will come when we don't have Rush. That's right. And yeah, we've been thinking a lot about that. And one suggestion has been that we put Charlie in where Rush is. So Charlie would do a 3-hour show instead of his 2-hour show from following Rush that he's been doing for years and years. But the other thing that I would like to explore is more and more live and local. And I think Santa Cruz and the Monterey Bay Area and San Francisco and the Bay Area have some of the greatest characters on planet Earth. And I would like KSCO to be an outlet for those characters and be much less political, because political just gives you a knot in your stomach, It's tiresome. There can be so much more that a quality talk radio station than just dwell on liberal and conservative politics.
I appreciate your shift today of trying to get out of that.
Well, I go through stages. I've done this. We're coming up on the 30th anniversary. Let's see, 23 and 7:30. So a week from Sunday, I guess, is the 31st. Is that right? Because today's the 23rd, so 7, that'd be the 30th, will be next Saturday. So 31st will be the 30th anniversary of our ownership of KSCO. Wow.
Congratulations. Wow.
Yeah. And over the years, I've said many times, gee, I really would like to go in a more positive direction, but we seem to keep getting bogged down in politics, because that's what people want to talk about. That's what they're passionate about. And there's so much more to the world than that, especially in this part of the world where, like I said, it's one of my favorite expressions: more characters per square inch than anywhere else on the planet. Okay, Frank the Crank. Did you give yourself that name, or did somebody else?
No, I gave myself that name. It's kind of like Billy Sunshine. I can get pretty cranky.
There's another incredible character, who's got a great sense of humor and who's fiercely political.
Rory's my favorite.
Say that again.
Rory's.
Oh, Rory. Yeah, because you agree with his politics, or what?
He's just got so much wisdom. I think he's got 9 kids. He homeschools them. He's got a science background. He's actually out there working hard, and paying taxes, and he knows a lot. There's a lot of wisdom there. Mike, what's his name? Mike in Watsonville?
Richard in Watsonville?
Richard, yeah, he took an absence for a long time.
He did, and I begged him to call back in, and he did. Because that was a regular caller I really missed, because he's totally unpredictable. Most of the regular callers are totally predictable. And some of them are,
he has such an unusual thought process. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's terrific.
Hey, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you too, Frank the Crank. Okay? Yeah, and it says here, take next. So, yeah, next would be none other than Craig. Oh, it's our good friend Craig from Over the Hill.
Yeah, Over the Hill. Hey, I don't know if my call's going to be any good or not, but...
well, as long as it's positive, it'll be good.
Well, I didn't call in to really be but you know, is that Colonel Terry ever going to call your show again, or?
I assume he will. He's called. He's a regular caller, and he has very passionate views on things. You know.
But I wonder if he's ever going to talk to you again after last week.
It's, bygones be bygones type thing. It's no.
You're that.
I certainly don't ban anybody. I don't like to do that. You know.
Yeah.
So it's up to him. If he wants to call, he'll be treated nicely.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I never heard something like that on the radio before. That was something. I heard you asking Dave. Is it Dave Michaels?
Yeah.
That's his name, Dave. Good guy, Dave.
He is a good guy.
Real. I wish I could be, as positive as him. I'm serious.
Have you ever tried? Let me just ask you a question. Have you ever tried to be positive?
Well,
it's not so hard.
It's hard when I don't take drugs or alcohol and everything's. I go where the realism is at, and
you don't live in La La Land.
Well, no, I never have, MZ, and I'll tell you, when I was real little, I mean, my first memory I ever had is this kid in the neighborhood that got hit by a car, and I've thought about death and that kind of thing ever since. That's my earliest memory I ever have. I have of myself going back, and I've just been a realist ever since. For better or for worse, I don't know. But, you did ask Dave, what I really called for is, have you ever heard a real good debate on this vaccine? People are asking me, I'm telling them I'm not going to take it. Have you heard any real debate on maybe the long-term effects or short-term?
No, that would be a very good Saturday special thing, and I think we could do that. Over the years, it's become increasingly difficult to get a crossfire-type Saturday special going because one side or the other just doesn't want to go on. They consider, we won't treat them fairly or something. And it's true. We will always, I on my show will always treat people fairly. Always, 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 always. But they might feel nervous about coming on because some of the callers, we try to have most of our callers be respectful, but some of them can be nasty. And people don't want to subject themselves to nastiness, even if they believe that the host will treat them fairly. And I'm not.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You do notice is that the conservatives it's usually the conservatives who are willing to debate versus the liberals. You mentioned
Mike Rotkin. Mike Rotkin. Yeah. He's from the other side, and I think the world of him because he doesn't shy away from any debate on any subject. I think that's great.
Yeah, I remember doing back in the 90s those gun shows from the TS gun show. I couldn't get anybody to be the anti-gun guy. Only one guy, and that's who you talked about, Mr. Logic. He's the only guy who was nice enough and the guts enough to go on there and take the other side of things. So I appreciate you out there, Mr. Logic. I know you're gone, but
hopefully he's very aware of this program, talking about him. Yeah. No, we did one or two programs. I've talked about this before, called Brain Dead, where we would invite people to comment on very controversial topics, and then people would, and we would agree. We would both agree with the person. Then the next caller would come and have exactly the opposite 180-degree point of view. And we would agree with that person too. Mr. Logic came up with that idea, brain dead.
Brain dead, yeah.
So you've got to have some fun. Got to have some fun on the radio. We really do. So anyhow, yes, we will figure out that, because that boy, talk about a relevant subject, a vaccine debate. I think there are people out there who listen to KSCO who are going to have a vaccine, and I've been steering away from having a vaccine, but not totally. I was never, absolutely not going to have it. And now I'm thinking, unless I don't ever want to travel again, I'll have to have a vaccine, and maybe I should anyhow, so I don't get sick and die. Maybe, So I don't know. I'm currently, wavering in the direction of having a vaccine when I can. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't watch the mainstream. I know the way they operate. But do you ever hear, the story of 24 people dying in Norway from the Pfizer vaccine? Do you ever hear them reporting on the bad effects in the mainstream out there? I don't know. I don't watch the TV.
Yeah.
But do you ever hear anything negative about the vaccine? Or is it typical?
Yeah, I do. But I listen to more than the mainstream. And you're right. You don't hear it. If what you're suggesting is that you're not going to hear that story on the mainstream, I think you're correct. Yeah, they're gonna downplay it, or they're not going to play it at all.
Yeah.
So,
typical.
but that's okay. That's why we have to make our own decisions. Okay, that's as simple as that. And I know what your decision is, and I doubt that you'll be changing it. I haven't made my decision, but I'm leaning towards having the vaccination from just the more thinking I do on it.
Yeah. Well, have you heard anybody having negative effects on the vaccine?
I know some people who have had it, who have gotten pretty ill after the second, after the booster.
Yeah, the second. I've heard that too.
But if in each of these cases, I've asked them, did you get so sick that you regretted having done it? So far, they don't. And you're right. There could be. I mean, I don't know what you haven't said this, but if you're thinking that, who knows about what negative effects might appear a year or two, or down the road, right? I mean.
Right.
I don't remember. I wasn't listening to talk radio. I don't think there even was talk radio when I was a kid, and polio was the thing that everybody was scared of, was scared to death of. Particularly parents of children, of young children, and a lot of grown-up people were getting. My own Dr. Holbert, had gotten polio. And by the time I had asthma badly enough to visit him, he was the best, doctor for those kinds of things. And he was in an iron lung. He couldn't move anything from his neck down, and because he got polio. And you got to ask yourself, if there's risks in taking anything. There's risk in any drug. And you have to ask yourself: are the risks, the side effects risks, do they outweigh the benefits? If you believe the benefits, and that's all anybody can do. And like I said, I'm leaning towards having the vaccination. So
why you got to wonder, if these people are getting real sick after the second shot. Did that happen after? Did people get sick from the polio shots like that? Or you got to wonder, if people are getting sick like that, what the heck's going on? Why are they? What's in that stuff that's making them so? And what's going to be the longer term?
That's why the program you're suggesting would be a wonderful program for KSCO.
And you need to get two real doctors, scientists on there, experts in this field, or close to it at least.
Great, I love that idea.
Two real smart people.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you got them right on. Maybe you have them right on your. You have doctors and chiropractors right on you. You already used to on your program. Maybe you could start with those guys. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Farmers is Ben and Doc Wallach too. For sure. Craig, thank you. Always great to hear from you. Have a great future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care. Here's Joe in Santa Cruz. Programming request and song.
Yeah, regarding programming, sometimes during the weekend you play these old-time radio crime dramas.
Yeah.
And if people are into that, that's great. But what about like comedy routines like Sam Kinison, Woody Allen, George Carlin? Do you have to pay to have those on if you want?
I don't think so. But if a lot of them are profane, and we run the risk of, we can't afford to pay someone to monitor that kind of stuff, for sure. Just like we couldn't afford to pay if we had to play it, So. But that'd be comedy. That's great. We should have a comedy hour with clean comedy, I guess.
Yeah, Woody Allen. He used to be he did some stand up, and if I remember right, it was all clean. I don't know. So there's got to be some clean stuff out there if you wanted to bother with it.
Okay. Well, let's put that down.
And the other song now I'm not requesting karaoke because I think every time someone sings one, it just summons the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. But a good positive song is that Funiculo song. I think that's what it's called. Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream.
Yeah, you know that song. That's a good positive song.
Okay. Life is but a dream. Okay, good. Very good. All right, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Let's see. I think, Billy Sunshine. Hi, Billy Sunshine.
Z, how you doing today? You sound so much better than last week.
Yeah, and I realize I'm just now realizing I've owed you a phone call because I did get a message that you had something positive from me, and I just sort of spaced out. But anyhow. You have a reality show you want to suggest for the station, or?
Yes, I'll get to that in a second. Last week I wanted to know, first of all, that they offered me the hit contract on you, and I turned it down. So you don't have to worry.
All right, good. That is good news. Thank you.
And the second thing is, the internet's not going away. You don't have to worry about that.
I didn't think it's going away. It might be suspended for a while. That's what I was worried about because people have come to depend on it. And in fact, I don't know if you were, I believe you started listening to KSCO around 2000 or 2001,
exactly.
Am I right?
That's right, yep.
Okay, so by that time, there were, a lot of the phone lines were already voice over IP, which means it depends upon the internet.
The internet,
yeah. And now I think just about all of the phone lines are that, even if you have what they call in quotes a landline, which I think you still have. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm on my landline now.
Yeah. Landlines, when you're calling a talk radio show, landlines are preferred.
Yes.
But it's my understanding that these days even landlines depend on the internet, so that if the internet goes down, whether it's for an hour or for 2 or 3 days in a big disaster or something, there's a good chance that you're going to be without communications, and that scares the hell out of me as KSCO.
And the advice to get the crank radio is an excellent one. I have one of those little cranks and solar powered and the whole thing.
Billy,
thing.
You're absolutely right about that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our ability to bring information to you if all of the phone lines are down because the internet is down. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, I'm thinking about giving up my hard line because all I get are scams.
Well, I got news for you. That's all you're going to get on your on your cell phone already. However, you can, as I understand it, block those calls. Or where it says scam likely or something.
Yeah,
man,
exactly, right.
All these companies, if money is important to a person, then that person really should go into a high-tech business. Because that's where people get on auto pay. They buy some service for $8 or $10 a month, or Netflix keeps going up every year $1 or $2, and now they're up to $16 or something like that. And if you could imagine, when a pandemic makes it so that there's hardly anything to do but be entertained, at home. So, the people who are getting, $15 a month from hundreds of millions of people around, can you even fathom that kind of wealth? And the guy, and it just so happens, is my understanding, that the head guy of Netflix, a guy named Reed Hastings, is a Santa Cruz resident.
Scotts Valley.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. And I understand he's a really nice guy. I had one email thread with him, a very short thread several years ago when I wanted to interview him on the radio. And he said, geez, it was right when people were upset with Netflix for raising their prices. Now they don't I think Netflix could double their price, and
That's right.
And no one's going to care. They'll just pay it because they're on auto pay.
Exactly right.
And there are so many businesses like that have created wealth that is unfathomable.
So so I always thought, talking about the characters, and I'm certainly one, as you mentioned it, I believe that a reality show about our radio station would be very entertaining. It's like KRP with reality.
Uh-huh.
You remember WKRP?
Of course. It's a very popular show.
Baby, did you ever wonder? Wonder whatever became of me. Yeah.
See, even you can sing, Billy. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I starred in Oklahoma in high school.
Wow. With Aunt Eller. Or Aunt Eller.
Aunt Eller. Yeah, that's right. Aunt Eller. That's exactly
That's
right.
one of the only shows I ever saw on Broadway is Oklahoma.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So
Broadway's dark. That's horrible.
Well, listen. How would that work? It's great to talk about it on a Saturday special. Wouldn't it be great if? But how do you do it? And talking about it and doing it are two different things, and someone's got to do it.
Well, that's it. You bring somebody who actually is used to doing stuff, you get a syndicator in there. There are people who make it, get Burnett, the guy who put the president on TV and made him famous.
Ah, yeah.
Robert Burnett.
Great.
But I think we have the kind of characters that, if you really let them go, let them really behave and misbehave, like I like to do.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Okay, I put it down as a check mark. Yeah, let's do it. All righty, thank you, Billy. Good to hear from you.
Take it easy, buddy.
Have a good one. Juanita in Watsonville.
Hi. What's the name of that colonel that calls in sometimes?
Terry.
Oh yeah, he would be an excellent person to do karaoke on "Don't Worry, Be Happy."
Okay, we'll ask him the next time he calls in.
There's something else I need to say.
What?
I've been a long-time listener, and 2 callers ago, I believe, talked about vaccines.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which is good. But yet, Marcella calls in, and you tell her she needs to have a show of her own. I mean, she didn't call today, but in the past she called, and you told her. So how come you didn't tell this guy he should have his own show?
Billy?
No, two people ago.
Oh, Craig. Yeah.
Yeah, Craig. See?
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll do that.
All right.
But what we want to do is have shows where there's discussions, not just preaching to the choir and everybody calling saying you're a breath of fresh air. That's just so boring. It really is.
Yeah. And you know what I don't like? My pet peeve is when they say, thanks for taking my call.
Yes.
That wastes airtime.
Exactly.
It's every second counts. Or else they'll say, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Or else there's a big pause,
Yes.
Anyway. All right. I have a joke.
Well, tell it.
Okay. I was driving home the other day, and I noticed in my rear view mirror there was a car following me. I saw headlights. It was dark. And so I said, is he following me or not? So then I turned left, and he turned left. We're going slow, and then I turned right, and he turned right. And I kept going a little faster. Well, this guy was following me. So I said, how am I going to get this guy off my back? So then I said, I know, I'll throw a 6-pack out the window. So I threw a 6-pack out the window. He didn't stop. He kept following me. So then I said, this will stop him. So I threw a 6-pack of toilet paper. Boy, and you hear those brakes screech.
Right. Good.
Okay,
you
bye.
know what thank you. Mary in Aromas, you're going to vaccinate.
Yes. I'm 98, and I'm not staying at home anymore.
Okay, good. So,
And
well,
I
you
called
should have
last
gotten it
week.
by now. Are you at least on the schedule?
Yes.
When?
My doctor, I was supposed to have been called this week. She's waiting for the shot to come in.
Okay. All
I
right.
wasn't going to do it, but then my son got it
Uh-huh.
very badly the first week. And then the second week, he was so tired,
Uh-huh.
he could hardly walk. I would hate to have after effects.
So why are you going to take it after you saw how it affected your son?
Because I like going out to lunch and all these things,
Even if it kills you?
even if it kills me.
Okay. All right.
I just figure do something if it's wrong, even
All right.
if it's wrong.
Okay.
And I loved your song, Tom Dooley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was, it sort of didn't fit in this otherwise positive show, but thank you for liking it.
And I have a joke. I
Sure.
called last week, but I got called away and didn't get to talk on the radio. This horse walked into the bar,
Yeah?
sat down. The bartender walked up to him and said, "Why the long face?" I loved it too.
That's very, very good. Thank you,
All
Mary.
right.
Always great to hear from you. You take care. Terry and Felton, you're on.
Hi, MZ. I just wanted to make a suggestion. I love your radio station, how it's very diverse with a lot of points of view. But on the news in particular, it feels like it's mainstream news. And from what I understand from journalism, you're just supposed to report the facts.
Right.
Maybe not have an opinion.
I don't think there's such thing anymore of journalism as journalism. But yeah, I agree with you. But that's what we can get right now, and so.
Well, and I just want to make a comment about David Corsi. I like him with the news, but he recommends the vaccines. I personally think they're too dangerous. I hope you don't do it. But just wanted to make that comment. I feel like I'm listening to mainstream sometimes.
Okay.
So that could be more diverse too.
Okay, great. Thank you. Here's Tom Quinn. You have a promo for your show, Tom, coming up?
Oh, well, I hadn't really planned on talking to you, of course. We're going to have a great show today.
Oh, okay, great. Well, listen, yeah, I want to get two more people if possible, but you're coming up right after me. Here's Mark in
he needed to
Seaside.
be on there.
Huh?
Hey,
Oh, did I? So he was going to do a promo.
He was
said
going
I
to be
didn't-
remote.
Oh.
I needed him for the show.
Okay, sorry. Jeez. Okay, go ahead, Mark in Seaside. He'll call back. Go ahead, Mark, quick.
Hey, just want to let you know you can still get a regular dial tone line from the phone company.
Yeah, I know that, but for long distance, anything that's a trunk, it's not. You're listening to KSCO Santa Cruz, Salinas, Monterey, San Jose. It's 12 noon, and here's the noon.